So we're here today for good news. We are here today with a big announcement about our fire department and a designation our fire department achieved that is rare among fire departments across the country and extremely rare in Massachusetts. So it's a little bit of a wind-up. Fire departments around the country are rated by the ISO. The ISO is the Insurance Services Office, which is in the business of rating performance in many industries so that insurance companies can calibrate their premiums and their coverage. And they do a rating system for fire departments all across America in some 45 states. And with us today is Skip Gibson from ISO, who came with good news. There are in the fire department world some 10 ratings, with number 1 being the best, 10 being the worst, and the relevance to all of us is, public safety. First of all, you prefer to live in a community that's a 1 as opposed to a 10, but it also matters for insurance rates, both residential and commercial, particularly commercial, where the fluctuation across ratings can be fairly sharp. In communities with high ratings, insurance premiums tend to be lower. The ratings are based on a variety of factors. A big component of it is water supply, and the other major component are essentially the performance of the fire department, which ranges from response times to the deployment of assets, to training, to inspections, and runs the whole gamut of what fire departments do. We've been undergoing our rating, our review by ISO for the last couple of months. It's been the last few months.
Since February.
Since February. And it's the last time we were subject to a rating was in 2003. And we are pleased to have learned today from Skip, from ISO, that New Bedford now is in Category 1, which is the highest possible rating. Puts us in some elite company, which there are 132 Category 1s around the entire country out of some, Skip, how many fire departments around the country? 90-something thousand?
47,000.
47,000. 47,000, we're the top 132. We are one of 3 in Massachusetts, so the other 2 being Boston and Cambridge. And we are among 6 now across New England. So this is an elite company, and it's really, it's a tribute to our firefighters, our Chief and Deputy Chief Mike Gomes, Paul Kadir, for their leadership and their commitment to excellence. And that's what we are about in New Bedford. For a long time, as I've said before, good enough was good enough in New Bedford. We have chosen deliberately as a city to strive for excellence in everything that we do. We have achieved recently the highest bond rating in the city's history. We're a national leader in solar energy. We're growing jobs as fast as anybody in the country. And now we have this distinction with our fire department, which is something that all the guys in the department should be very, very proud of. It is a real achievement, a recognition, a national stamp of approval by the leading authority that this is an excellent fire department. And on behalf of the residents of our city who go to bed at night with the understanding that they will be safe, they do so because our fire department is so effective. And on behalf of the businesses in New Bedford, we say thank you, because insurance rates are going to be coming down. And so in that vein, I do encourage our businesses in the community, and we'll make sure we get in touch with the Chamber of Commerce, to give your insurers a call, give your carriers a call, and let them know about this great news, because we suspect, and our understanding is that on average, when you go from a Category 2, which is where we were, to a Category 1, insurance rates tend to drop about 3%, which is not insignificant when you have other bills to pay. But in any event, I really wanted to extend my congratulations again to our firefighters who are represented here today by their union president and vice president, Billy Cabral, Steve Pexoto, but most of all our chief, Mike Gomes, who's done a real steady job in positioning our department for this success. And so Chief, great job today. As always, nice work. I also, by the way, want to, he's not here today, but I do want to extend my thanks and congratulations to Ron LaBelle. A big part of this rating is the ready availability of water to put out fires, and we have an excellent water supply system, as good as, frankly, as good as any in the United States here in the city of New Bedford. And it's not just because the water's nearby and Lakeville, it's also because the system runs very well and it's maintained very well. So we appreciate the work that DPI does to make that happen. But Chief, congratulations, and I'll ask you to come up and say a few words.
Sure.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Again, this is a very proud day for me and the New Bedford Fire Department. I'm probably going to have to get some new buttons on my shirt before the day's over because, again, this is an extremely proud moment for me. And we worked extremely hard to get to this state. As the mayor alluded to, in Massachusetts, there are now 3 Class 1 fire departments: the City of Boston, the City of Cambridge, and the City of New Bedford. And I think that's pretty good company that we're keeping in that location. How did we achieve this? We achieved this through the hard work of the staff and members of the New Bedford Fire Department. It is not because of me. It's because of the work of our staff in order to get us to this point. Upon becoming chief, I reviewed our ISO rating and knew that we would be coming up within the next 3 to 4 years. So we conducted a line-by-line review of that rating, and we tried to identify where we were leaving points on the table. Where did we need to adjust our operations in order to be more effective going forward? And we developed a 4-year plan because some of this requires 3 years of data points, 3 consecutive years of data points in order to go forward. So it's not something you can do overnight. So we developed a 4-year plan that we have worked on, time and again, and we prioritized those things that were most important for us going forward. As the mayor also said, the DPI in the water department, we have a water department that is second to none here in New Bedford. That makes us very effective in the field as far as having adequate water wherever we need it. So that really helps us out. It's 40% of the total score, and they are nearly perfect with their score. There are 4 key areas of the fire department that are reviewed in this process: dispatch, personnel and equipment, training, and fire prevention going forward. Under these present fiscal times that we've all been operating in for the last 4 or 5 years, I wasn't going to be able to go to the mayor and ask for additional fire stations in order to get better coverage. We weren't going to be able to ask for additional personnel because, again, we've been dealing with difficult fiscal times going forward. So what we've done in order to achieve this goal is reallocated some of our assets in order to meet the data points that we weren't making going forward. I will say that Mayor Mitchell, the Chief Financial Officer and City Council have supported the fire department going forward. Our capital needs, we have basically put together a capital plan going forward, and we continue to purchase the equipment we need in order to meet the needs of the community going forward. So I thank the mayor and again the council for that support going forward because it's been very important. Prior to the start of this program, we hadn't bought an engine in 7 years. Now we're making steady progress year over year as far as our replacement program. And just the other night in the council, we got 4 cars that were allocated to the fire department. Again, thank you very much for those continued assets going forward. We've used our very good luck or skill, if you will, in federal grants in order to purchase some of the infrastructure issues that we've needed in order to do so. And again, I want to offer my thanks to District Chief Joseph Barrows, who is our point person on all grant writing that we do here in the department. By being successful there, we were able to go to computer-aided dispatch, which is something we had never had in the past, which again helped our score. We converted to an electronic data management system where we now have a relational database where we can pull out the data. We could have told ISO what we were doing. Now we can physically show them what we're doing, where we're doing it, and where we're being effective as far as that's concerned. We reallocated some resources to training. Okay, training was one of the areas where we had left a lot of points on the table going forward. We doubled the size of our training staff by adding an additional person in that location. We were using the Phillips Avenue School as the Urban Fire Academy. And again, with a federal grant, we were able to get a burn building training area, which was something that we've never had in the past. So that really helped us as far as that's concerned. And another thing that or people that I'd like to thank is our training division. The training division themselves have worked very hard to meet the plan. We put together a citywide plan as far as training is concerned. We have to provide, under ISO, to get the highest possible score, 14 hours of training per person per month going forward, plus additional training in the burn building or under realistic conditions. So we worked really hard as far as that's concerned. On dispatch, and again, working with District Chief Barrows and the Police Department and Chief Preventia with this computer-aided dispatch, that's worked for us going forward also. We also moved some people over into fire prevention and increased our fire prevention activities. This was one of the largest areas and points that we picked up, and our school education program, again, has been paying dividends for us going forward with that. And one of the last things that we did that, again, also helped us is we've started a pre-planning program where we actually have companies going out into the community, through the buildings, and actually gathering data. We now have a file on 26,000 buildings in the city of New Bedford. We continue to build upon that on a regular basis. District Chief Stephen Beaulieu has been spearheading that for us and putting in a whole lot of work there. Over in the Fire Prevention Bureau, again, Captain Charbonneau doing a bang-up job over there, documenting all the inspection work that we're doing on a daily basis here in the city. So it is a lot of effort by a whole lot of people on the team that's made this successful, and basically we're paying back to the community a little bit for the support they give us. Hopefully these insurance rates will come down and make it a little easier for everybody out there in the community. Thank you very much.